No. Okay, Craig. Let's do another one this way, Craig.
Hold on. Are you trying to tell me that time can't be an IV?
It can definitely not. You know, time is just the concept. It can be a control.
Time is literally always, well, not the majority of the time when time's in an experiment, it is the IV.
Okay, give me a hypothesis where time is an IV, please.
Oh, this is one that I do all the time. So, I observe that I like tea when it's a certain strength, right? So, I hypothesize that...
I don't even have to write this down. Yeah, Kieran?
You gonna let me talk? Right, brilliant. So I hypothesize that the longer I leave a tea bag in my cup, the stronger it's going to be. Right?
Okay.
So my prediction would be that if I left it for a longer amount of time, the brew would be stronger. Right? So then I do an experiment and I have 5 cups of tea. And in each of the cups of tea, the only thing I change is the amount of time that the tea bag has been in the cup. I have done an experiment manipulating the time on how much it is brewing. The only thing I changed in each of the experiments was how long the tea bag stayed in the cup.
Okay.
So that means that time was the independent variable, and the dependent variable would be how strong the tea was.
Okay, let's put it this way. Did you put a tea bag in the cup?
Yeah.
If you didn't put the tea bag in the cup, would the tea get stronger?
Oh, because there's no tea bag in the cup.
Great. So, do you understand duration of time? That's because you're given it duration. Is only a control. It's not an time. Cannot do anything. It's not physical.
An independent variable. That's the thing that I've changed.
You didn't change anything, Craig.
As I said, my experiment was 5 cups of tea, right? The tea bag has gone into all 5 cups of tea. The only thing I change is the amount of time the tea bag is in the cups.
So control.
The independent variable in that case is the time. The dependent variable is how strong it is. The control variable would be the fact that there's a tea bag in the cup.
No, the control.
That's not changing.
Control would be the duration.
That's the same, right? The only thing that changed is the amount of time that the tea bag was in the cup. That's the manipulation.
It's duration.
How much time?
Okay. How did you manipulate time physically, or did you just have a control of duration?
No. My control was the tea bag being in the cup.
Simply, is duration,
was the
you changed,
amount
listen,
of time.
you changed the duration of time, or did you change time?
The duration of time. That is
so
what it is.
Control.
That's what I mean by time in an experiment.
Okay, let's say
how much time had passed.
Can you go back in time to when we started the debate and manipulate it, please?
That's a gaslight, because I never said I can travel through time. I said I can manipulate the amount of time.
That's manipulating time.
You love gaslighting,
duration,
don't you?
sorry, is duration of time the same as manipulating time?
Yes, I have manipulated the duration of time in the experiment.
So, duration, you cannot get back. You can only keep having further durations.
Yeah, so...
Okay,
let me ask you,
but
maybe it help if you answer the question. 5 cups of tea, right? The first cup of tea, I leave the tea bag in for 20 seconds. The second one for 25. The third one for 30. The fourth one for 35. And the fifth one, because I'm a psychopath, I left it in for 10 minutes. What is the only thing that I have changed in this experiment?
The control, the duration of time.
Right, so you're saying my independent variable is my control? That's
the independent variable was the tea bag.
Is the fact there is a tea bag. A tea bag, the same tea bag, that's not changed. The control can't be something that changes. The time changes, therefore it can't be a control. The time is manipulated. 25 seconds, 30 seconds, 35 seconds, 40 seconds,
Craig,
10 minutes, because I'm a psychopath.
Craig,
that is the manipulation.
Craig, can you change the intensity of the tea without having a tea bag in it?
No. That's
so there we go. There's your control.
I
mean, there's your IV. It's a tea bag.
No, Mike, to find out the strength, to get the different amount of strengths, the control is the teabag, because I've not changed that. That's been exactly the same. The only thing I changed was the amount of time the teabag was in each cup.
No, you changed the duration of time.
Changes,
listen, you didn't manipulate anything, Craig.
Okay, Flatsoid, listen. If something changes, it cannot be a control. The point of a control is it does not change. Therefore, the duration of time cannot be a control.
Duration of time cannot be a control. That's exactly what a control is, because you're giving a new experiment each time. Listen. The duration.
Something that don't change.
This is how it's supposed to be. This is how your hypothesis is supposed to be. Cup of tea.
Wait, no, I just asked the question, right? Did the duration of time change, yes or no?
Yes, the control changed.
Right. No, sorry, the controls can't change.
You just changed it. That was your. That's the point of being you did 5 different experiments with different controls.
No. Again, the control has to stay the same, otherwise it's not a control.
You are putting IV. Your time is always a control variable. Doesn't matter where you go.
The time is usually an IV.
No, time can only be a control.
A control cannot be something that changes, Flatsoid.
Time can only be a control.
That a control cannot change. A control has to be the same from one experiment to the next. Do you agree with that?
If you've put it that way, yes.
Yes, because that's what a control is. A control is something that stays the same, exactly the same, from one experiment to the next, right? So that's not the IV, right? The tea bag is the thing that has stayed the same. The fact that there is one tea bag being put in each cup is the control. The only thing that changes
in the experiment,
the one thing that changes in the experiment is the duration of time that tea bag has spent in the cup. Therefore,
no, that's false.
That is the thing that has changed. That is the thing that has caused the dependent variable being the strength of the tea.
Thermodynamics just debunked that. What happens with duration of time? Listen, what happens with the duration of time? Heat energy dissipates. So, could that now be the cause why it's getting stronger, or is it still just your duration of time?
Yeah, I'm not changing the heat energy. I am changing the amount of time.
So heat energy doesn't change with time. That's what's called the arrow of time. Is that what you're stating?
I'm not manipulating the heat energy. I am manipulating.
So how did you keep that heat energy constant
in each cup?
How did you keep that heat energy constant in the experiment, Craig?
Well, all 5 of the cups, the heat energy is going to dissipate at the same speed.
Are you sure about that?
Right. But my hypothesis was the amount of time they're spent in there, just like your hypothesis.
And wait.
Was just like your hypothesis was to do with some, water boiling at 1 atmospheric pressure, whereas I can say I can change the pressure and stuff. But you're trying to do exactly the same thing to me.
That's a straw man.
The only thing that I have changed in the experiment, the only thing that I have manipulated, is the amount of time that tea bag has spent in the cup, and I can say that. For 20 seconds, it is this strong. For 30 seconds, it is this strong. For 40 seconds, it is this strong. For 50 seconds, it is this
Craig,
strong. Right?
Craig, what happens?
Whilst that is happening, wait, let me finish. Whilst that is happening, of course, thermodynamics says that the cups will be cooling down. Of course they will. Heat energy is going to be dissipating. That is something that is also a control in all of that, because heat energy is dissipating all of the time. The only thing that I am changing is the amount of time the tea bag has spent in those cups. That's it.
Sorry, but does the first cup that's, let's say, set for 5 minutes, have the same amount of dissipation compared to the one sitting at 10 minutes?
Over time, yes, it will.
Sorry,
right?
You literally said. You said your duration. Listen,
the fact that I have left the tea bags in the tea for longer has made them stronger, and that's my experiment. My experiment is to see if I leave a tea bag in it longer, it gets stronger.
Okay.
And it does.
Right? I'm sorry.
My IV was time and my DV was the strength.
Okay.
That's it.
Can I debunk this again as well? Because I've been trying to talk. Now, literally, I'm saying the one aspect is the heat energy transference from the 5 minutes to 10 minutes would not be the same because the one will dissipate more. Secondly, what happens if you squeeze that tea bag or just stir the cup? Does it get stronger? Does it get stronger?
You're adding extra things to my experiment.
Oh, no. Does it get stronger or not, Craig?
That's not my experiment.
No. Does it get stronger, Craig?
Longer, it gets stronger.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not my experiment.
Wait, no.
That's
so
not
your
my
IV,
my experiment
listen,
is to,
your IV
again,
then, your IV, listen, your IV then is invalid. Your IV is invalid. It's disproven. You know why? Because tea will still get stronger no matter the duration of time. I can stir the tea, I can squeeze the tea bag, it gets stronger
those are different
in different durations of time.
Stop
I can have
a different hypothesis. Your hypothesis in that case
that's a different hypothesis, guys.
It makes it stronger. That's a different test.
Ouch.
My test is
not a different test.
The time. That's it.
Sorry.
Right? If you leave the tea bag longer without touching it, the tea gets stronger. Yes?
That's correlative. That's not science. You're supposed to have controls for a reason.
That's my IV. My IV is time, and my DV is the amount of strength. Is it true that if I leave the tea bag longer without touching it, the tea gets stronger? Is that true?
You didn't manipulate anything physical. That's what I'm saying.
Is that true? Yes or no?
Based on factors that I just made you disprove your hypothesis. Because you know why? Because I can squeeze the tea bag and it's instantaneously stronger, Craig.
Hold on, 1 second. Listen, I make my wife about 10 cups of tea a day. I know for a fact the exact amount of time that tea bag has to be in that tea, right? Regardless of what anything else is happening, right? I know the exact amount of time that my wife needs that tea bag to be in that tea to make it appropriate for her to drink.
Okay.
If I leave it too long, it's too strong. If I don't leave it long enough, it's not strong enough.
Okay, and
right?
what do you do if you're in a...
I am not squeezing it. That's not what I'm saying. That's not my experiment. I'm not stirring it. That's not my experiment. My experiment is simply to see if I leave the tea bag in the tea longer, will it be stronger? And the answer is yes.
Okay, what happens if you use cold water, Craig? Will the tea bag require the same amount of time?
Okay, so if I use cold water, right, it will still be a case that the longer the tea bag is in the tea, the stronger it is.
No, but I'm sorry, did you just not say that you have a special time for your wife? Let's just say, for instance, say it's 45 seconds, but I mean, who's so psychotic to sit there and actually count 45 seconds for a tea bag? Would you now go against that and say if it's cold water, it could have exactly the same time?
Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Are you married? You are married.
Obviously.
Do you make your wife tea?
Yes, and coffee a lot.
And you don't count how long that tea is?
No, because I'm not psychotic. I don't need to. I simply squeeze the bag out and get
You need to sort your tea making out. Seriously.
You can squeeze the tea bag to make it stronger. The hotter the water, the quicker it gets stronger, because you know why? Heat energy. So heat energy is physical. All about correlation, though. Heat energy is physical, Craig. That's why I brought up heat energy in the first place.
In the heat energy. The only thing I've changed is the amount of time in each of those tea bags, right?
False. The one that's sitting for 10 minutes has dissipated a lot more heat energy. Therefore, it's much colder than the one that sits for 5 minutes. How did you keep the temperatures?
Did I leave
How did you keep
yes
them? How did you keep all the temperatures constant, Craig? How did you keep all of them, all the heat energy keeping at a constant?
I didn't, but the dissipation...
Oh, you didn't? So it's not a valid experimentation then, because it's not controlled.
Thermal dissipation is a constant.
No, that's not, because they have different constants to each other. You just debunked your own hypothesis, Craig. 5 exactly same cups, 5 exactly same amounts of water, 5 exactly same tea bags, 5 exactly same perfectly level spoons of sugar. The dissipation of heat energy in each of those cups will be happening at the same rate.